Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry, 24/7 shopping available. 160920 is the code. Show her some love, like she showed us. K&A Custom Crafts on Facebook.
All right, good evening or good afternoon, everyone. This is the On Deck. We are missing Dirk today, but don't worry. We still got Big B. Big B, how are we doing?
What's up? I'm doing good. Can't wait to talk some MLB today.
Awesome. So we got two very special guests. They're from MI6 Network. We are in partnership with them. We got Colin. Colin, how are you doing?
Doing fantastic, fellas. Thanks for the invite.
Oh, no problem. Yes, that is not the Skip Bayless there, but it is Isaiah, which he thinks he's Skip Bayless. Isaiah, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. It's really hot up here in the Bay, but oh man, I kind of was dreading coming on the show because Sarge, I know you are a huge Mariners fan, and I thought we had you guys yesterday. I really did, because we came all the way back, and just to blow it in the bottom of the 10th inning, man, it's so brutal right now.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that. I caught the very last inning of it because I was driving back home from a road trip. So I caught the very last inning of it. I was screaming both times, all three times. Well, how many times? I don't know how many times. But anyways, just welcome to the poll count. So we're going to start off on the teams who are hot and who are not. And we're going to start with our special guest, Isaiah, down there. Isaiah, tell me, who do you think, as of right now, this last week, which teams are hot and which teams are not?
Well, let's start with the teams that are hot. I think you got to start with the obvious one, the Tampa Bay Rays. I mean, this team was in like third place in mid-April, and they have vaulted all the way up to first place in the American League East. They've had an amazing run in May. I believe they were 22-6 in May. I think they won at one point. I think they won like 12 or 13 straight. It was a very crazy streak that they are on right now, and they're keeping it rolling right now down there in Tampa Bay. And for me, the team that is not hot, two teams. Obviously, I got to go with the Texas Rangers. I know the Texas Rangers. They've struggled with a lot of injuries. They've had a lot of players come up from the minor leagues. They're not doing too well right now. They're 22-33. The last 10 games, they're 3-7. They've lost 6 in a row. It's really ugly down there in Texas. I'm going to a Rangers game next week when I visit Arlington, Texas, and I got Texas Rangers tickets for $6. That just shows you the state of the Rangers right now. And this might come as a surprise, but another team that's not doing so hot, it's got to be my Oakland A's. We played against the Mariners, we played against the Angels back-to-back or 4 series, and we dropped each series to the Mariners and to the Angels. Well, we didn't drop the series to the Angels, but we split with them, which is kind of embarrassing because we're missing Mike Trout and Albert Pujols. And for a team that has really high expectations, a team that was supposed to compete in the American League West, a team that has a stretch right now of Angels, Mariners, and then Rockies, Royals, and all the garbage teams right now in baseball. Very easy stretch for you to drop these type of series when you should be crushing these teams. It's an embarrassment, man.
Definitely indeed. And I actually, you brought up earlier during the pre-show that you were born as a Phillies fan. Guess what? Do you know where the Athletics started?
Philadelphia.
Okay, so you got that tied in. We can go on a different story on how I don't know if you know how the team got named the Athletics or not, or how they became the Elephant, but that'll be a different topic for another day. So
Connie Mack once said it was because that one of the athletic clubs, what they're named for, they compared the team to a bunch of white elephants, thus they took the moniker and ran with it.
Well,
wow.
There we have it. Yeah. So Brandon, good luck on that. Good luck on your trivia with that one, Brandon. So with you bring up the Mariners beating the A's last night, I got something for you. Every time the Mariners beat, you're gonna have to look at this. Chris, can you bring that up really quick?
Uh-oh.
That's not it, Chris.
Oh.
All right, so we're just gonna go on. Well, maybe I saw something change, but okay. Well, so we're having a little bit. Well, that's okay. So, all right, Colin, I'm going to go with you on this one. So, who's hot, who's not, in your opinion, so far this season, or during this?
My two, and then I'm going to go by each league. And, my two surprises for who's hot may surprise you a bit. I'm going to go with the New York Mets as a team who's been somewhat in influx right now with injury problems. I think they've sent 3 or 4 guys down to AAA Syracuse earlier today, though. But this ball club is somewhat, I think, gotten through April, maybe off on a slow start. Obviously, Francisco Lindor is trying to live up to that very huge contract that he got over the offseason. But they won 5 in a row right now. They got a 3.5-game lead over Atlanta right now in the NL East Division, and their run differential is only +6. So they've been in a lot of very close games, but also getting DeGrom back is a huge team. This guy's doing 102, 103. What the heck happened with this guy while he was away with that lat issue? But also that I think so far that Luis Rojas may in fact be a guy who could be considered for manager of the year at this early stage still as we enter June. But I also have to go, guys, with San Francisco as a team who's hot, though, because this ball club has been kind of under the radar all year out here in the National League West because, of course, you have the Padres and the Dodgers. Everyone had San Diego and L.A. jockeying for the top spot all season. And San Francisco has kind of flown under the radar. And Gabe Kapler, I think, has done a great job keeping this team, veteran-led, but not over the hill just yet. I know about Posey. I know about Longoria and Belt and the age. But that San Francisco has quietly had probably one of the more surprising starts of the season that this team hits. And, I mean, they hit and hit and hit. I think they're going for a stretch here of going for, I believe the stat line today was they're looking for their 6 straight games having multiple homers hit in a ball game. And, of course, they're playing the Angels again tonight up at Oracle Park in San Francisco. Out in the American League for who's hot right now, I got to go with Isaiah and say the Rays are very hot. And a team, though, that, again, much like the Padres perhaps, a team that is not really looked upon as being a team that could surprise people. But again, this team, though, they go out and they just grind. They don't have a lot of the star players on that roster. Yeah, they've dealt away Blake Snell to San Diego. They've dealt away guys like Sasugo going to the Dodgers. But that this team finds a way to get wins, whether it's coming from behind, whether it's extra innings, or whether it's just, dominating the opposition. They're going for another win tonight over the Yankees up in the Bronx. And I think the last team for being hot, Sarge, you got to go with your Mariners. They won 5 in a row. I know that, of course, they've had their own injury woes over the course of today. I think they've, sadly, they're losing Kyle Lewis because of that meniscus tear, though. But, the Mariners are getting close. I know it's been probably that way for too damn long with the 15-year playoff drought that it's been, or, how long it's been, though. But that the Mariners, Jared Kelenic, I think, is must-see television, and that he's getting there very, very shortly, very soon, obviously. We don't see a lot of rookies, minus Trout, maybe even along with Trout, Tatis Jr., who are able to, kind of come on right away and, grab the headlines. But the Mariners are playing better ball. And you know what? They're 2.5 games behind Isaiah's ace for first place. And, I know it's only June. Maybe they'll hit that, hit the rough patch eventually. But so far, it looks good. And I think that if the Mariners could at least get maybe another bona fide starter, perhaps, that they'd be sitting pretty. Who's not hot right now in my mind over in the National League? I got to go with Washington. The Nationals, I think, have suffered, I think, the hardest among some of the previous World Series champs, though, of them kind of in a way being gutted, though, but still keeping that core, though. I mean, with Scherzer and Strasburg in that rotation, but again, can you really trust Strasburg with that injury, with his injury health, sadly, is, I think, a big question mark, though. The lineup's been kind of in flux as time has gone on. As we take a look at, I believe that's Mr. Murphy after he won the game on Sunday or yesterday against the Athletics. But the Nationals are my one team right now who's not so hot right now. But I think, though, Isaiah missed the obvious one in the American League. It's got to be the Baltimore Orioles, on pace to perhaps have their second straight 15 or their second 15-game losing streak in franchise history. So Baltimore, rough sledding right now. But I do think, though, that as Baltimore can somewhat kind of rebuild the pieces, I know you have to kind of go through those years, though, of kind of taking those blows on the chin, though, that I think they're going to be better, though. But, man, I really want to see them avoid disaster and not get that second straight or that second 15-game losing streak. But that's where I'm at, though, with who's hot and who's not hot right now.
All right. Then we got a couple of comments that came in. We got Dave Preza. He said, "What's up, guys?" And, of course, we got Skip Bayless on the show today. And Isaiah wrote Christy Wilson, James Gonzalez, and Casey King. So How you guys doing out there? And Big B, I'm going to go up with you on who do you think is hot and who is not?
For me, let's see here. The Mariners are pretty hot right now. I mean, they're 7-3 in their last 10 games. We've already touched on them. I also got to go with the Brewers. I think the Brewers they're 8-2 in their last 10 games on a 5-game winning streak. They're only a game and a half out. So, like Colin said, it's only June 1st, and still a lot of baseball to be played left. Teams that are not hot, I gotta go with my Twins. I know they're 7-3 in their last 10 games, but they have just been hitting the injury bug right now. Hopefully, we get some people back and stop playing these catchers out in the outfield. I mean, I know they're young and stuff and probably can play wherever, but I want to see our lineup to get back to full strength. And then, of course, the Baltimore Orioles. They're on a 14-game losing streak, so they're not doing so hot right now. And I think that was a kind of a team that we figured wasn't going to be hot, but we thought might have had some kind of capabilities of putting some wins on the board. But right now, they're not doing much. So.
Okay. Well, Big B, I got to bring something up. You kind of picked the Twins to win the Central and the AL side.
So, yeah, it was tough for me to pick.
I got a video for you. If Chris, can you bring that up about how their season is going? And I love this video. I don't know if you guys seen it. Chris? Oh.
Nope.
No, that's just Chris. That's not the video I hope we were seeing.
That's true. So, all right. I'm going to continue on the hot takes right here. So, the team that I actually think is hot right now is actually no one actually picked right now is the Chicago Cubs. They're
valid.
They're playing against the San Diego Padres right now, but in the last 10, they've won 8 out of the last 10 games, and also their run differential is at plus 32 with the Cardinals, who I picked to win the Central, which I still think they're going to win it. Is their run differential is 0 off of that. On the NL West side, that is the Wild Wild West, because right now I don't know who I can pick to. Oh, so we got the video up here. So if we can just play that really quick for you, Bigby. I don't know if you saw this yesterday.
Oh my goodness!
Oh, it was one of my favorite times.
And bam! Down goes Rob Refsnyder.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, just recently called up too. But did you guys see what the Baltimore Orioles field staff did? They actually
taped the outline of him hitting the wall earlier today. It was great.
Yeah, that was great. I hope they leave it up there for the game.
Spectacular.
Awesome.
That's definitely. And Casey King came on saying the hot Temperays, and they still continue to amaze me as each year they lose a player or two and continue to stay competitive. That is true. And Dave is saying my White Sox are 7-3 IB. They're in the last 10. So I'm going to continue with my hot takes.
Yeah, we don't care about the White Sox.
Talk about the NL West. Yeah. So the NL West is kind of like the Wild Wild West. I right now I cannot pick who is going to be winning it right now because it's been 3 teams so far. But I would have to say the Padres are actually on the hot streak also. Same with the Giants because what the Padres did to my M's a couple of weeks ago, that was not fair. But that's all I got to say with that one. But what you guys, I forget who brought it up, but my team that is not so hot right now that I'm picking is actually the Baltimore Orioles. They lost 14 in a row. I don't know if they can win today, but we'll see. And Colin, you mentioned that the Mariners on a hot streak. They are. They do need an extra arm because they lost 3 pitchers. But Gonzalez is actually pitching today, coming back from injury, so that is good. And Kikuchi with the Mariners. I mean, he was pitching. He's been pitching great. I think
he's been fun to watch. I'll give you that. He's extremely fun to watch when he's out there. I just feel bad for the Mariners when they came to San Diego. It was a buzzsaw that weekend. But then again, there was like 20 different transactions made because of the COVID scare. Guys were hurt, and it's just like, basically, walking wounded into a very, against a very good ball club, sadly.
Yeah, that was definitely true. But Kikuchi, he pitched a perfect game or not a perfect game, but he pitched a gem through 6 innings on Sunday, but this is like his third time that he had a no-hitter going into the 6th inning. So, but his ERA doesn't affect that. So with that being said, we're going to move on, and we're just going to do our little report on our teams, on just our little favorite teams. So I'm going to start with Big B on this one. Big B, what's your Twins report? How are they doing?
Well, they're on a 5-game winning streak right now, but like I said, they got the injury bug going, and hopefully they start getting some players back. I just read something that Buxton's due to come back soon, which will help the outfield because, they got pretty much nobody out there. I think if they wanted to call me, I probably could go play some outfield for them because there's nobody left. But, we still need some decent pitching. Pineda's going today. Barrios went yesterday. I think got into the 8th or 9th inning yesterday. So that was a good sign. So we just need to get better, get off the injury list so we can have our full squad for the first time since first week of the season, I believe. So let's see how that goes.
All right, then we got a few more comments that are rolling in from God Over Sports Network. How about them A's? And I'm going to tie this other comment in with it. And how about them Phillies, Isaiah?
Thank you, John Alcorn.
No comment.
You can't plead the fifth here, sir. How about them Phillies?
A AAA ball club would be better than them right now. That's how pathetic they're playing, especially on defense. Oh.
All right. So then we got Yule. He's saying it's a DeGrom's world. We're just living in it. Yeah, he pitched, 10 straight pitches that was over 100 miles per hour?
I feel bad for that single A ball club he went up against for his rehab stint. Like, my goodness. Here you're an 18, 19-year-old kid out of college or high school. You got to face Jacob DeGrom throwing 103.
Not fair.
What was it, three innings and 6 strikeouts or something? I mean, it was ridiculous.
Beyond insane.
That's crazy. I went to a minor league game, and I forget who it was. It was he was pitching for the Milwaukee Brewers and had Tommy John. They didn't start him in single A. They went rookie ball. They started him in rookie ball.
What?
And it was just child play for him for 2 games. He was
thank
child
you.
play.
I'm done.
I know. I think he just gave them some balls to hit so the other team doesn't feel bad and so forth.
Oh, my goodness gracious. That's crazy.
I know. All right, Colin, I'm going to go with you with your team update with the Padres.
Well, the Padres are looking to avoid their first 3-game skid since they played the Brewers in April. But over the last week or so, guys, it's been more about, and I called them the frantic Friars last season because they had all these comeback victories, and no game was out of reach, though. But I think, though, as you look back to this weekend versus Houston, here they swept the Astros in San Diego last season, and they take 2 out of 3 over the Stros. But, of course, I think it boils down, though, guys, to another late-inning comeback. But I think more than anything else, though, the dropped pop foul opportunity by Taylor Jones as he fell down, lost the ball, and literally the next pitch, Fernando Tatis Jr. clobbers it onto the train tracks to win or to tie the game 6-6. And, of course, they win the game in extra innings again. They played 4 straight extra inning games, too, for the first time in club history when they played Milwaukee for 2, then played the Astros. I think the only minor hiccup here with the Padres so far, I hate to say it, though, too, but Blake Snell has not quite been what he once was. But I think, though, guys, there's a transitional gap, though, for guys going from the AL to the NL because of the brand of baseball with how they play the game in certain leagues. I think as time goes on that Blake's going to be fine, though. He does, I think, have to cut down on those walks. He's had a lot of walks over the course of the season. He's still striking out guys at a pretty high rate, though, but there's been a lot of walks, a lot of unforced errors on his part. And also over the past week or so, Tommy Pham, a player, guys, who has been absolutely pummeled by Padre fans because of his offensive performance. He's hitting .370 over the past 7 days playing games. So he's been somewhat the leadoff guy right now. They've kind of kept Fernando Tatis Jr. in the cleanup spot. They've kind of kept their top 4 with Pham and Profar, along with Cronenworth and then Tatis, and then Machado fits in there every so often. He's also coming off being hurt, though. But over the past week, though, still playing some good ball, though. But I would like to see the Padres not try to keep this pace of playing all these come-from-behind games, though. I think you have to jump out on top, build that lead, and go to that bullpen. That bullpen is what was your hallmark last season, but you really can't afford to keep falling behind in games so early. And I think more than anything else, the Padres had to burn their starter for yesterday's game with Joe Musgrove, who ended up coming in relief on Sunday of Blake Snell, and he threw 5 shutout innings, though. So deeper in starts right now for the Padres. Clean up the offense a little bit, though, but so far over the past week, nothing to really speak bad about, but just, some things to tweak, though. It is June 1st after all. But so far, so good still for the Pods, and they're a half game out of first place. Who would have thunk it?
Yeah, right. So I had a dream that the Mariners will break their 20-year curse. That's the last time they were in the playoffs was 2001. So I picked them at least picking up the wild card. That was before James Paxton went down. That's who I had picking one of the wild cards on the AL side. But right now they have Marco Gonzalez back. He's pitching tonight against the A's, so I'm already marking that one as a win for me. So yay me. So and on top of that, so the Mariners already lost Kyle Lewis to another knee injury, a slight tear in his meniscus right there. They put him on the 10 injury list.
I really hope it doesn't become a 60-day IL stint, Sarge. If that's anything worse, yikes.
I'll throw in the towel. I'll say put my slow pitch softball team if that already happens. Because they're probably winning the game.
At least you're honest.
So that is going on with the Mariners right there. And, man, our comments are kind of blowing up right here. We got Isaiah. Would you have many reports since he has so many baseball teams? So I know one prediction I have is that the Phillies will win the World Series once Bryce Harper leaves that team, because look what happened to the Nationals. So
exactly.
Then we got Casey King coming in saying, my cold team Yanks as they got swept by the Tigers and lost yesterday to the Rays and have been shaky all year so far.
You want to talk about the injury bug? The Yankees, the hardest hit club, I think, once again.
The Mets were up there too, so New York's really getting hit hard.
Were up there. I agree.
Oh yeah.
But I'll tell you what, if anybody would have told me the Tigers would have swept the Yankees, I would have said you're crazy.
What year is it? 2014 where they went, or 2013 when they lost to Boston in the ALCS? Like, is that is that it? Maybe, who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Casey Keene, now you know what a Mariners fan feels like every single year. So, we got that. All right, then we got God Over Sports Network is saying, what team should I pick so I can watch baseball? I think, what do you guys think? Who do you guys think, like, if you could choose a team, who would you choose?
I think it's a no-brainer right here, the green and gold. Come on.
No.
Come on, John. You know you want to be an A's fan.
The San Diego Padres are bringing fun back to baseball. They are the most fun and exciting team in Major League Baseball. Check out that short clip on MI6, 330 views since last week.
All right. And you all need to start Isaiah Roast show on Coast to Coast. Hey, I could do that one pretty easy.
We can do that on any of the programs. So, I mean, it's, yeah.
That's awesome. All right. So I put a little thing in here is like inside the numbers. So I'm going to say a number, and you guys tell me what you think that number represents. So first number is going to be 2 million. I'm going to go with Big B. What do you think 2 million is?
I will, if it's the one I'm thinking of, I'm going to pass because I know the answer.
Well, you don't have to pass. I mean,
okay. It's Josh Donaldson scoring the 2 millionth run.
All right. Sounds good. All right. All right, Isaiah. We got 5,376.
5,376. Is it the Texas Rangers attendance number for one of their games?
That's every game, man.
Even in the new ballpark.
So that number is how many games Joe West had umpired.
Oh,
Cowboy Joe.
And we're not going to go on how many missed calls he has because it's way above that one.
One in every game.
Yeah, but there's one big one, I think.
All right, Colin, this is yours. 36 and 80.
36 and 80.
Yep.
36 and 80 is the projected record of the Baltimore Orioles right now?
No. Well,
I was going to say projected winners of Isaiah's picks.
Oh, my God.
So that is seconds spent on the ground after injury. 36 seconds after a 94 fastball hit by pitch in the face by Pilar for the Mets.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
80 is LeBron James getting poked in the eye. That's how long she was on the second. Oh my God.
Jeez.
All right. So we got Christy Wilson on here. She's still finding myself surprised how well the White Red Sox are doing this season. How do you guys think of that?
Yep.
Surprise.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't have them.
Yeah, got to be surprised.
I know the guy in square 3 to my left wants to say it's because of Cora cheating and corruption that the Red Sox are doing great. I think with Cora probably having that time away and knowing if he screws up again, he's probably going to be done with baseball for his life.
Yeah.
I mean, they've done a pretty good job considering that they also have kind of been a team in transition so far this season, and they're making it work for the time being.
All
I'm
right.
sur-
and-
I'm
go ahead.
surprised by JD Martinez's resurgence. I mean, this guy had a down year last season, and it seems like all of a sudden the video room opens back up, and he's like a totally different hitter.
And I know a lot of players were upset about that because of the COVID restrictions. They couldn't have access to the video replay. And tell you what, if Tony Gwynn, if they did that to Tony Gwynn, he wouldn't have been having a great year last season. That would have happened to Mr. Padre. Believe me on that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And also, she says, by the way, hi guys, and Yankees have seriously got hit by the injury bug, and Red Sox.
Brutal.
I know. Adam Barber was saying that his Atlanta Braves are plagued with injuries and also arrests as well. So we could have
Still hanging around though in the NL East, considering of how bad everyone below the top team right now is with their records right now, including Isaiah's beloved Phillies.
I know. So I got one more number for you guys. It's 6 and 43. So do you know what that means? What's 6 and 43?
6 and 43. Is that
The Mariners have gotten
is that
in
a
between
30
the two
rotations
no-hitters?
combined ERA?
No. So since May 4th, the Orioles and the D-backs are combined for 6 and 43.
And they both are and they both had
Ooh.
double-digit losing streaks.
I know. And that kind of brings us to our next topic. Which team do you guys think is actually the worst team in the NBL right now? Because we got another question or another comment saying, what's worse? Do we have the A's, the Phillies? What's worse, Isaiah?
I would say it's the Phillies because the Phillies have all that, talent on their team. So much big contracts with Segura, with Harper, McCutchen, and then Wheeler as well. And they just look like a very dysfunctional team right now. They can't field the ball to save their lives on the field. I mean, you have guys like Gene Segura, Bryce Harper, all these established vets making really silly errors out there on the field, which I don't know like how that can even happen. Like some of these guys are Gold Glove winners making these type of errors, which is just unacceptable. And then, Joe Girardi, I feel like he just wants to quit at this point. I would not be surprised if he turns in his resignation letter because he looks exasperated. Like if you watch his press conferences, he just doesn't have any answers about
question. Next
struggles
question.
and stuff like that. So I gotta say it's the Phillies.
Okay, Skipper, we're going to cut you off now. So with that being said from that, all right, so in all seriousness though, but like we got the Orioles, the Diamondbacks, and the Pirates. Between those three teams, Big B, who are you picking is the worst team?
It's obvious. You gotta go with the Orioles. I mean, they're on a 14-game losing streak, dead last. They're just not doing anything right now. I mean, 17 and 37, minus 68 in the run differential. I mean, they can't even win at home. I mean, they're 6 and 19 at home, so you should be able to win a little bit better at your own home ballpark. So I gotta go with the Orioles.
Okay. I'm going to have to disagree with you on that one because I have to say the Pittsburgh Pirates. I don't know if you saw it on the 27th, that crazy play where the first baseman with 2 outs got the ground ball. He missed, doesn't even touch the bag. He throws it to Artista.
The ultimate facepalm play of the 2021 season. Changed my mind.
I know. I was like, is this a softball game we're playing or a Little League? I didn't know. So I have to say the Pirates. So I'm going to go with Calvin on this one. Who are you saying is the worst team so far this season?
I'm still going to go with Baltimore as the worst team again, trying to avoid their second 15-game losing streak in franchise history. I mean, that's dating all the way back to the original St. Louis Browns, fellas. You're talking about, 2 different 15-game losing streaks back in 1901, 1902, for heaven's sakes, with this ball club having, that other 15-game losing streak. So I'd go Baltimore, but then I think it's a toss-up between Pittsburgh and Arizona, but I got to go with Pittsburgh at number 2. I mean, the play's one thing, But Pittsburgh has just not been the same since that ball club that got to the wild card game a couple years ago, and how Pittsburgh kind of had, like what I've said about San Diego, like the love marriage coming back with the Pirates and the city of Pittsburgh. And they have not been the same since then. I think Derek Shelton's been having, a very rough go with the Bucks right now. And Arizona, for me, I don't think Arizona to me is not the worst team in the NL West. I still give it to Colorado because I think that may have been the dumbest trade probably in recent baseball memory of them dealing Nolan Arenado for a pitcher, and they also had to give up $50 million of that contract. And I think that the Rockies would have been a lot worse than what they are right now. But of course, Charlie Blackmon, a few of the established guys are keeping the fort somewhat stable right now. I think that Arizona, I think it's also like in a way of them kind of feeling the effects of like the Goldschmidt trade, Zach Greinke going away in free agency, like losing those big bona fide stars, though. But I think, though, in a division, though, that we all knew was going to be with San Diego and LA, and then with the Giants now kind of being in there, it's a battle right now between the Rocks and the D-backs for last place. So I think that Arizona's probably third on my totem pole. I still go with Baltimore and then Pittsburgh and then with the Diamondbacks.
All right, Isaiah. So I'm going to go with you. You pick one of those three teams who you think are the worst.
I'm actually gonna, agree with you, Sarge, and go with Pittsburgh because after that, dumb play where the guy, instead of touching first base, he decides to throw home. It looks to me that the Pittsburgh Pirates, they just don't know how to do the fundamentals. They don't know how to play fundamental baseball, and you've been learning that type of stuff since you were like 10 years old. So I can't believe they messed up that play. And if you look at their farm system, they don't really have that great of a farm system, so their future isn't that bright either. The Baltimore Orioles, yes, they're bad right now, but at least they have a very bright future with Adley Rutschman and all the top prospects that they have coming up in the minor leagues.
All right. So two of you guys picked the Baltimore Orioles, but the Baltimore Orioles have something going for them, though, actually, for the season. His name is John Means. I mean,
Yes.
he pitched a no-no against the Mariners, and before that game, I actually looked into his stats and everything else, and he is actually a mean pitcher. I mean, his ERA is like 205. I mean, he's the best thing that is going on for Baltimore right now, and I think Baltimore can build on that and so forth. And we got some more comments coming in saying, Christy,
Well, the best
again,
thing going for Baltimore right now is that they're up 1-0 on the Twins. So
Long way to go, Big B. Long way to go. Don't be like the guy in Square 3 who, makes all these ludicrous predictions after a quarter of a football game about Drew Lock being a star quarterback. Don't do it.
No.
That is funny. All right, so we're getting some awesome comments coming in. Christy Wilson is also saying, I hope Alex Cora has learned his lesson. I hope so too. And God Over Sport Network got Isaiah Rose sesh videos to send to you all. I can't wait to see those.
Yes.
Oh.
Then Christy is agreeing with some of you guys that Baltimore is terrible because we learned that she's a Red Sox fan on a few other shows, actually. And God Over Sports Network, maybe the A's can compete for the toilet bowl.
Come on, man. They're not that bad.
Have you seen their stadium? Like, the plumbing sucks, man.
Thank you.
I
I'm
work
leaving
there.
for Vegas or
I'm there every
Portland
day.
pretty soon.
I know. You got to wear those nurse shoes, like cover your shoes to walk through the aisles and everything else.
Put a hazmat suit on.
All right, so I'm going to continue with a few more comments over here. Casey Keene saying I'm going with the Pirates as worse. I have to completely agree with you. And Christy is replying back saying, no, I think the Phillies will. So with that being said, Brandon always has a stumper topic or a stat that he gives every day. So I think it's time for that little topic, Big B.
All right. I had one, but I lost it. I can't remember what I did with it. So I got to back up. This happened in 1982 with Yoel Youngblood. You guys kind of know in the baseball history what he might be tied to.
Kinda. I think I know where you're going with the story, though.
Okay. Go ahead, shoot it out there. Isaiah, you probably weren't even born yet, so you get this right, I'll give you.
Before I was born.
Colin, what do you think it is?
Youngblood. Well, I kind of feel like this was one of those guys who got struck by lightning during the course of a game.
Oh, well, it's actually kind of a lightning story, but it's not. He did get struck by lightning. Sarge?
Well, that's kind of shocking.
Pun intended.
Yeah.
Not funny, yeah, right. I'm gonna say he played on every single position and even coached.
No. What he did was he got hits on the same day for 2 different teams. He was playing with the Mets, got a hit midway through the game, got traded, and that same day he ended up in Montreal, I believe it was, and donned a Montreal jersey and got a hit for them as a pinch hitter in the 7th inning. So he's the only player to get a hit for 2 teams on the same day.
Wow.
That's pretty crazy, actually, now that I think about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Back before
I mean,
they
just
would be able to actually do that. But I guess when they had all the teams close by, you could just jump on the train or the bus and get to the next game in time.
Yeah, he was, I believe the first game was in Chicago that he got the hit in. And then had to fly up to Montreal, I think it was. So, yeah.
He did the Will Ferrell before Will Ferrell.
Yes, he was Will Ferrell before Will
There you
Ferrell.
go. All right, so we got some more comments that just came in with God Over Sports Network saying Christy Wilson, maybe the Phillies and the A's can play against each other and see who wins the title. That's kind of crappy.
What would Isaiah do if that happened in the World Series?
It's going to happen in the World Series this year, y'all.
Okay.
And Christy Wilson is agreeing with that. And hello, Vegas A's or Portland A's? I have to disagree with
I say Vegas.
I have to disagree with Portland. So you guys really think Vegas would get the A's over Portland?
I think so because the Mariners kind of own like that entire Pac Northwest. I don't think they want to share that revenue with another team coming up from Northern California. Vegas seems to be the obvious choice. And I think a little bit now, and I also think though, minus the Mariners and that extremely difficult travel schedule that Sarge and the guys have to go through. Figure this: Anaheim, Vegas, and then you go from Vegas to Houston and Arlington to wrap up that road trip.
Yeah.
I also think Vegas makes more sense because of how that sports city is growing now. With the NHL obviously going there first. AAA baseball has been there forever. They're tapping into it with the WNBA right now, maybe getting an NBA team there perhaps. Of course, the Raiders are there, so who knows? They may, in fact, get that sports monopoly, adding on one more to the board perhaps. Who knows?
Yeah, let's go with Isaiah on that one. Isaiah, what do you think with the A's? Where if nothing happens, which I don't think is going to happen, where are the A's going?
If nothing happens, I think they probably will go to Las Vegas just because it's a bigger market, with the tourism and, the Raiders already being there. And, I think the A's already have a minor league team already there. So they're very familiar.
AAA team's already there.
Yep. They're very familiar with that area. So I think that's a better option, especially for not just the A's, but Major League Baseball in general than Portland.
All right. If the team goes, are you going with them?
That was my question.
Hey, tell the A's to buy me a house in Las Vegas, and we'll talk.
Probably be cheaper.
Maybe.
Cost of living.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I would have to agree with you guys on that one because I've been through Portland many times, and that is the worst city. I don't know if any of our reviewers are from there, so I am sorry, but I think it's the worst city to ever drive through and to have it's just like a metropolis smashed into a little square box. That's what I think Portland is. So Big B, what's your thoughts?
Oh, I think they're going to Vegas. I don't think Portland's in play. I mean, I know there's talk. Anybody that doesn't have a team right now is in play, but I think a lot of sports want to go to Vegas. That's where the money's at right now, and that's the hot spot. So if they don't show up in Vegas, I'll be shocked.
All righty. So with that, Christy Wilson is Vegas. Vegas is the fastest growing city in the U.S. I kind of have to disagree with you on that one, Christy. Nashville is actually one of the fastest growing cities that are out there on the east side, and I would love to see a baseball team out there. And she also said, isn't Vegas in contention to get an MLS team? I don't know about that one.
Can confirm they are, but
Yeah.
they're not listed right now at this rate. They're going to Charlotte, then St. Louis, and maybe Sacramento, but that bid is in limbo right now. I know that Bill Foley, the owner of the Golden Knights, really wants to get a team in Major League Soccer to play in Vegas, but they do, though, have a pro indoor lacrosse team going to Vegas, owned by Joe Tsai, who owns the San Diego Seals and also owns the Brooklyn Nets. So we'll see how that goes.
All right, then we got Ishmael. He's saying that he has some breaking news about the A's. Raymond Laurinaro, I hope I say his name right. Ramon
Laureano put on the IL
Laureano.
due to a hip issue. Yikes.
And I actually kind of just looked that up really fast, and it is confirmed with that one. So we're almost out of time today. So I want your guys' feelings, since you guys are guests on the shows. I want to see who you're picking for the MVP on the AL side, NL side, and the Cy Young for both of those leagues. I'm going to start with you, Colin.
Oh, goodness. If Trout didn't get hurt, he would have been my choice. I kind of feel like it's going to be someone from the White Sox. Tim Anderson will be my either Tim Anderson or Jose Abreu. Maybe Mercedes perhaps can be in there, but I think that the White Sox are just so loaded, with talent right now. It's kind of hard to. I'd probably give it to Tim Anderson for the AL. The NL, I have to be a homer and pick Fernando Tatis Jr. because this guy missed time twice, starting with the shoulder injury, the COVID issue, and again, where would the Padres be without his bat in the lineup in those big situations? I know he's had a rough time with his defense this season. I think he leads the team and leads baseball in errors right now in the field, but his bat is so key. Again, hitting leadoff, hitting second, batting third, hitting fourth, down in the order, stuff like that. Coming back, though, too, from that shoulder issue he had and also the COVID scare. Cy Young, for Cy Young's right now, the AL for me is a little bit up in the air right now. But I think for the National League side, it's got to be DeGrom right now. If this guy can stay healthy, that's been his only problem his whole career. If he's healthy the whole year, I don't see anybody prying that award out of his hands this season, honestly. I really don't.
All righty. All right, Isaiah, I'm going to go with you on this one. Who are you picking for your awards?
All right, so on the AL side, before the season, I actually, was a homer. I picked Matt Chapman to win the MVP, and that's looking like a terrible prediction because he's hitting like 204 right now, and you can't have an MVP hitting 204. But I'm going to actually change my prediction. I'm going to go with JD Martinez. This guy has had a resurgence of a season. He's looked like a completely different hitter than the guy from 2020. I think he leads the league in home runs. I might be wrong on that. Or he's either the leader or he's second in home runs in the American League. He's got like a .974 slugging percentage. He's just having a really great season all around. And the Red Sox have been a big surprise this season in the American League. And as far as my AL Cy Young Award winner is concerned, I picked Chris Bassett before the season. And you know what? I'm going to stick with Chris Bassett because he's pitched really well in his last 10 starts, minus the first 2 starts of the season when he gave up like 15 runs combined against both the Astros and the Dodgers. And, he settled down. He's gone at least 6 innings in his the last 10 starts. And, you saw what happened last Thursday night against the Angels, complete game, 2-hit shutout. I think he's just, starting to scratch the ceiling of his potential at the age of 32. And I think that, he's going to build off that breakout season that he had last season in 2020. For the NL side, I'm going to agree with you, Callan. I got to go with Jacob deGrom. Jacob deGrom, I believe his ERA right now is 0.73. He's having a tremendous season all around, so got to give it to him. And as far as my NL Cy Young Award winner, you know what? I picked Mookie Betts before the season, but he most likely will
Since when did he become a pitcher?
Wait, what?
Since when did he become a pitcher?
Oh, my bad. I said the wrong words. I mean NL MVP, not Cy Young. NL MVP. I got to give it to your guy, Fernando Tatis. He's had a tremendous season. 14 home runs, man.
16 home runs. Get it right.
16 home runs, including that majestic shot that helped my A's keep our lead over Houston, which we then, let it slip away a couple of games later. But Fernando Tatis, man, he's the real deal.
All right, then these comments keep pouring in. But Colin, first I gotta say, once you put those sunglasses on, the only thing that came into my mind was Thug Life. So
These are the shades that I put on when Isaiah has all these long rants and his ludicrous takes. I just put them on, sit back, relax, and go from there. So these come out every so often. So you may see them a bit more often when, in fact, this guy starts going off on a tangent. Believe me.
I mean, now I see why
and also
I mean, he just kept going, and I'm like, who are these players?
and Martinez is actually 5th in home runs, not 2nd.
That probably changed like a week ago because like I know last week he was like at the
He was
top.
up there, yeah. I mean, he was up
He
there.
was.
Oh yeah, I'm going to correct you again. And DeGrom is at 0.71, not 0.73 on that one. With that, but hey, no one's watching. So
Yeah, exactly.
God Over Sports Network, he said the A's shouldn't get any awards. They need to be arrested for fraud for pretending to be an MLB team.
Wow.
I love that comment.
Love
I mean,
it.
how true. That is
Oh.
awesome. So, and Colin, they're asking to send me a Padre jerseys, and
I can do that eventually.
All right. So, all right, Big B, are you? Let's go with your little rant on your MVP and Cy Youngs.
Ah, man. I mean, American League Cy Young's up in the air. That could right now probably go to anybody, I think. But my MVP, Otani, I think he's can pitch and hit. I think he's got to still be up there. Now that Trout's gone, he's probably going to see more of the spotlight in Anaheim. NL, I got to go with everybody else. Tatis, I've liked him since day one. The guy's, bringing excitement to the baseball with the bat flips, the young excitement. I hope it grows on everybody. And if you're not picking DeGrom as your Cy Young Award winner, then you shouldn't even be talking baseball, I think, right now. Because, I mean, 0.71 or 7.3, whatever his ERA is right now, he keeps it up. There's already talk, what's it going to take for him to break the all-time record for lowest ERA. So yeah, I got to go to DeGrom on that one.
All right. So, oh boy. So for my MVP, I'm going with Otani because that guy is amazing. Being a two-way player, being like being the second batter in the lineup while pitching, I think that is awesome. With that, Lance Lynn of the White Sox, he has my vote over Barrett Cole actually. He's just been lights out, and I think he's a White Sox pitcher that has like a camo glove or something. I don't know.
Something
There's
like
one
that,
yeah, and that actually he's become my fan of that because of the camo with that. So on the NL side, I'm kind of I don't know who to pick for the MVP, but with the Cy Young, I'm gonna pick DeGrom. I mean, he's breaking a record that's really awesome, and man, Acuna. I gotta go with Acuna for the Braves for being an MVP on that side with that. So.
Two great. I mean, those are the two kids that are bringing fun back to the game, though. Acuna Jr. and Tatis Jr. Definitely.
Yeah, and God Over Sports Network says great show y'all, and man, he like hates the A's. He says, man, the A's are cheaper than Mr. Krabs. Guess what? No Krabby Patties for you, Isaiah.
Oh man.
So,
Sonny Gray can't come fast enough.
Yeah, so Christy thinks that the NL MVP should be Tatis, but I can't see that happening because that shoulder, I don't think that can happen. Ishmael is saying I got Valdi Jr. for the AL MVP. I can see that maybe in a season or two, but I cannot see it this season. Yes, he's doing a lot better so far. And also, the Oakland A's are worse than Star Wars episode 7, 8, 9. You forgot episodes 1, 2, and 3 also.
Oh my goodness!
I gotta
running on those roads, man.
That the person that's writing in that with that account, I think might be a secret Rangers fan or an Angels fan that is just hating on the A's. Maybe an Astros fan because the A's.
Isaiah, John Alcorn, who has that page, does not watch baseball. It's a roast sesh, buddy. Come on now, you should know that.
All right, and he said, "Come football season, definitely gotta come into the show." So with that, all right. So with that being said, Isaiah and Colin, I'm gonna give you a plug for MI6 Sports. So go ahead, take about a minute or so.
Callan, you want to go first?
You can go first. You're the guy in charge, not me.
All right. Well, Sarge, Brandon, thanks for inviting us onto the show tonight. It was a great show. But as far as MI6 is concerned, make sure you guys tune in tonight. Callan is having his sports lounge. They're doing an official grand opening tonight for the sports lounge. I think it's the first show in about 160 plus days. It's going to be very exciting. Make sure you guys go check that out at about 8 p.m. Pacific time. I think that's 10 p.m. Central and 11 p.m. on the East Coast. And then Wild Sports Talk with myself, Callan, Sammy Sharp as well. That's going to be coming your way on Thursday at 6:10 p.m. Pacific time. So make sure you guys go check that out as well. And a quick announcement before I hand the floor to Callan. We are bringing back Fan Response. Fan Response is our MI6 version of First Take, and we're going to bring it back starting next week, Wednesday, with myself as the moderator. I'm going to be trying to keep the peace between Ryan Schreiner and Sammy Sharp. I'm going to be in Callan's role. I'll be doing Callan's role that he used to do on Wild Sports. I'm trying to keep that peace. So wish me luck, fellas. It's going to be a great show. Also, the fans will be able to call in during the final segment of that show. So it's going to be a great show. Can't wait for next week, Wednesday. And also make sure you guys tune in about 2 hours. I will be going live from the batting cage, and you guys can watch me try to channel my inner Shohei Ohtani.
Oh, that should be fun.
Severely hurt, and I don't know what's going to happen. Great show playing for the night on the Sports Lounge again, 8 o'clock Pacific time, 10 o'clock Central. Talking all the big news in sports, and small plug, but in 2 weeks we're going to be having our first lounge guest, Haley Skamura from the USA Women's National Hockey Team will drop by and say what's up at 8 o'clock Pacific time in 2 weeks. But a great show planned, and we sincerely thank Sarge and Big B for letting us come on. And you're not seeing the end of MI6 and Coast to Coast. You'll be seeing more of this as time goes on. It's going to be great.
It is definitely going to be great. Hey, I actually got one more number, Big B.
Uh-oh.
No, boy.
This is for you. 1,000.
That is our official viewers for Coast to Coast Network, since we've been going on for just over a month now. So
Yeah, and guess what? We got that ASAP.
yeah.
So with that being said, I just want to say thank you to all the viewers and all the followers reaching that goal. We're just here just to have fun.
Yes, thank you.
Enjoy. So, Big B, 30 seconds.
Stay tuned tonight, right after us. Probably about within a half hour, we're going to have Wrestle Shoot. Hopefully this time the kinks are worked out. They can be interviewing Mr. Marty Jannetty. So that's a great interview. Tomorrow you catch myself, Ace, and J-Mac on Sports Minute. And you guys will be seeing these guys again from MI6, because we are going to be talking to them about coming on the trivia show and doing some kind of Family Feud little trivia. We just got to get that set up with these guys. So you're going to see Coast to Coast versus MI6 down the road here. So we'll see what group is smarter. So
it's going to be fun and all in good fun, but it should be great.
Oh, yeah. Exactly.
All right. For Big B, Isaiah, a.k.a. Skip Bayless, and Callan, I am the Sarge. Thank you for coming out tonight. We will see you next week on deck. Have a good one.